It's the Mosley Show. We're back, and you'll notice we're back in HD, 4K, the beautiful technology, thanks to our buddy Mike and some things we did yesterday, and my neighbor Brian who came over. We had I tell you, as Scotty knows, it's very fun to just sort of do a lot of tech stuff with me. I'm tremendous at it, and I just have a great feel for it. So that was a good way to go. Yesterday, though, I wish I had just spent the whole day like doing sort of tech. I wish I could have. Wish I had the option of occasionally going, you know what? I'm opting out of the Cowboys today. I'm just going to opt out. I know it's what I do for a living. I know it's a huge part of what I've done for the last 20-something years, 30 years, close to 30 years. Bill Parcells, 2003. But yesterday was, I've, seen a lot of embarrassing things. And yesterday certainly was right there. And then if you wondered, hey, I wonder if Russell Wilson is just good against the Cowboys. I wonder what he'll look like against the Chiefs. Well, it's about what you thought it would be. He looked great against the Cowboys, horrible last night. It's time for the Jackson Dart era to begin with the New York Giants. And so, it's as bad as you thought it would be. So it's just, it's just tough with the teams you cover and the teams you like to see do well. I don't root. Let me put it this way. Scotty Swingler, always with me on the Mosley Show. I genuinely, feel bad. I'm okay. Like, I can function after a Baylor loss. Unfortunately, there was a time I didn't function very well at all. Scotty, I'm sure you've been there too. And maybe the other night you were having trouble functioning. But I at least have to go down there, be a professional, question Dave Aranda on some things and do all that. And then I can drive home and stop by. Oh, my new Buc-ee's thing is, if you're kind of like, hey, what's Mosley do on the way home? I know a lot of people probably wonder that. What's he up to? Uh-oh, hold on, Scotty. Let's get some, I think there you go. I wanted to put even more light. I feel like that may be too much light. Do I even need the ring? We got this beautiful 4K technology now. Do I need the ring? Okay, maybe so. Buc-ee's has a thing back there in the Scotty. It's back there by the jerky area, and I usually get the teriyaki, and it's been way too much on beef jerky. That's not that great. I like it, kind of just gnawing on it. It really, you just feel like kind of a caveman or something. Just gnaw and just rip at it with your teeth, and then I get some of those cube cheese, like a cup of cheddar cheese cubes. I'm sure those are great for you. And then, that's kind of how I move on home. In that jerky area the other night, and there were some Arizona State people. It wasn't bad as the Auburn, but there I have to encounter, and we have to interact, and all the Baylor people are not making eye contact with each other. We're just all upset. Think about that. These people were just into Hillsboro, and I stayed for the Baylor players, Aranda. This is a full hour and a half after the game, and Mosley's pulling in, and then I'm running into Baylor at ASU. What are you folks doing after the game? I know you weren't in there with me interviewing the coach. Were y'all still drinking? I don't know. Then one guy comes in. He was mad because they don't sell beer after midnight. He was very upset. Hey, I get it, man. After watching that game, I might have been just grabbing some things off the shelf myself. But I've got something for you. The dried sausage, the venison dried sausage that's in that same cabinet back there with the jerky. I said, hey, give me just a quarter pound of that. Because, I don't want to be carrying around a big old, huge, long link. It just looks weird. I said, cut that up for me and give me about a quarter pound of that. And it was perfect. Because I like that better than summer sausage. The dried venison sausage for the way home. It just put me in a better mood. I was able to kind of do my thing from then on. And by the way, on the way out to the deal, I'm like, why is my backpack so heavy? What is going on? Is somebody playing a joke on me? First of all, but what it was, Scotty, was that I got my laptop back from you and Mike that had been worked on, and it's much heavier than like my iPad. So that's what was weighing me down. So anyway, late night after a game, I'm trudging back out to the car. Hey, gather around. This is a safe space. Dave's already talked today, but I don't think there's anything Dave was going to say that, I mean, maybe tomorrow, Scotty, I'll investigate what all Dave said. And if we want to play some of that, but today is about our reactions to what happened the other night. And I mean, okay, all these things start to run together and these post-game scenes. And I would just say, Scotty, and I saw a question today, like, what does Baylor need to do? Why can't Baylor win at home? Why can't, well, I don't know. Has it not been the same coach? If you want to show me, and I know, Scotty, you'll flash some graphics up there for me at some point, but like, I think the point they were making was against Power 4 teams, they're 4-12 and in big home at home and in big home games, what would be considered big home games since the start of 2022, they're 1-9. They're 1-9. So what do? We're going to blame the fans? Okay, yeah. We'll blame the fans. Are they not showing up? I will say this. Okay, there you go, Scotty. Let me put my glasses on here so I can take a peek at this. Power 4 teams Baylor has beaten at home since 2022. Remember the Pokes. I remember the Kansas one. I certainly remember the TCU game last year. Okay, so those are, and I remember a heartbreaking TCU loss from that 2022 season at home after sort of a jailbreak where they ran their group out there. Power 4 teams Baylor's lost to at home since 2022. Now, Scotty, what I'm not going to do is one of these PowerPoint presentations, and you and I were in, I was in one of them recently. If you're going to take the time to show me something on the screen, the last thing I need from you is to read everything on the screen to me. Like there's got to be some better way than you putting a PowerPoint up and then reading me everything on the screen. I can just stay at home for that. I don't understand that. Like, am I not smart enough to just look at the screen? It's the same thing, Scotty, as like these play-by-play people. Actually, it's the analysts more, the radio analysts too. The other night, I'm driving home and I'm listening to a late night. I think it's USC or something like that. And who are they playing? Michigan State. And they love talking about this could make it a one-possession game. This could make it a one-possession. This could make it a one-score game. Like, who told you guys that we needed that? Like this constant reminder. They do it in basketball too. They could make it a one-possession game. They could make it a one. We're not like morons. We can look at the screen and like know what time of the game it's a one-possession game. Like that's analysis. Like anybody cares. Hold on there, Scotty. Let's just make sure. I don't want that to show up on the screen. Boy, one thing Mike does not do when he works on a laptop is spray the screen down. Okay, now, Scotty, so that visual, thank you for that. Thank you for that, because it reinforces how bad this thing has been. And I think sometimes Baylor fans leave a game and they go, God, that felt like another time. That felt like the last time. That felt like. Now, I think what's really scary, Scotty, is, during a game, I'm in the press box, and then I'll go down to the letter winners lounge to see my dad who played at Baylor and some family members at halftime. And then I'll move around the stadium, and I might even go sit in 224 for a little bit to see what's going on. But I'm making my way around the stadium. After one of those turnovers, I think it was after, and kudos to the defense. Let's not pass over this. The defense, okay, here we go. We're gonna show you some of this. The defense actually kept the Bears in the game. Oh, was that the interception, Scotty? I'm sorry, I was talking so much. Was that where he undercut? No. Okay, that was one of Cameron's fumbles. I mean, you're arguably your best player on the team, or your second or third best player, Josh Cameron, has like 2 huge fumbles in the game. I mean, it's completely uncharacteristic. I guess on one hand, Scotty, like, I should point out that it's a miracle that they had a chance to win that game. There's a pick should have been made. Guy made a great break on the ball there. That's our man, the former walk-on. I mean, it's a miracle that they had a chance to win the game because they got no takeaways. They're -3 on turnovers, 2 fumbles, the pick, and they still had a chance. And Arizona State had to win that game at the gun. Now, here's something Dave Aranda hates. Here's something, unless it's a 53-yard field goal, which thank you, Connor Hawkins. Thank you for stepping up and making a huge field goal. That's nice. One thing Dave Aranda hates more than anything is settling for points. If it's 4th and 2 from anywhere, especially, you're on the 17-yard line, the thought of taking points, it detests him. And I'm sure the chart probably says, go for it. The risk reward, the reward of possibly getting a touchdown instead of not getting it is worth going for it there. Now, I'm not one of these huge, oh my gosh, please. There's the 53-yard field goal from Connor Hawkins. I like going for it. I like going for it on 4th down. I think sometimes, it does help you. It keeps possessions going. That's the only reason. I mean, that's why I think we have to be a little careful, Scotty, oh my goodness. Okay. Well, there's a play. There's that. And that guy obviously comes back and gets beat later. Number 17 for Baylor. Now that's a nice play where he ripped the ball out of there. He gives up. He has inside leverage on a play later in the game where Arizona State goes down and scores, and he gave up a bad touchdown. I think that was Tyson, ran an out, and he wasn't even close on the play. 17 for Baylor. Is that Jordan Turner? I guess it is. Yeah, the transfer portal guy. So again, Bears not getting separation there, going for it on 4th and 2. You can take the points and you go, well, man, I mean, whatever. Well, what did they get beat by? What did they get beat by at the gun? 27-24. Scotty, you basically laughed at me when I said the game would be 31-28. I mean, Bears actually stepped up for periods of this game, a lot of the second half, and held Arizona State after these turnovers to field goals. The defense actually did some good things in this game. Now, they had another one of those jailbreak plays when I have to have it, 3rd and 13, following Jackie Marshall's great play to reach out with his big arm and get a sack, something the Cowboys never do. Baylor doesn't get a lot of them, but Jackie Marshall makes a huge play. You got a 3rd and 13. You got the fans going crazy and a jailbreak right up the middle. Okay, I asked Dave Aranda after the game because he alluded to the bust. What happened on the bust? Dave said they were in cover 2, which means, the 2 safeties are back. And so they got the, 2 safeties are high there. And they had someone who we didn't mention their name, but I think if you just watch the game, you could probably know who he's talking about. You have someone assigned to the middle of the field. You got somebody, if there's a route run in the middle, you have somebody assigned to them. 83, who's listed as like a 2nd or 3rd string receiver for Arizona State, and I can't remember his name. It's like he's a Hispanic guy. Anyway, but seems to be a really good player. It's almost right there. Espana. Anyway, number 83 for Arizona State. He comes free right up the middle, and there's like nobody close to him. 61-yard jailbreak play basically kind of ruins a second half of play. Okay, now before we get too into this, another close one. Look at them. They had a chance. They should have won. It took kind of another Sawyer miracle. Yes, the offense got going too late, but what were they doing late in the game to get back and tie that game? They were having to go for it on 4th down over and over. And, of course, at that point they had to, and they were converting. But, again, that's what it takes for this team to get a win. They almost have to be perfect, and they weren't. And they also have to, as Scotty noted before the game on the Green and Gold game day the other day, they've got to put up a ton of points, and they didn't. Offense was not good enough. Offense staggered around for way too long in that game, and then when they had to, boom, they woke up and they had 2 big drives late in that game, to get the game tied. So they're obviously capable of it. Now, what are they flopping around because Ashton Hawkins, who I'm told now, Scotty, maybe you and I should monitor these players' social media feeds more, was saying things all week like something like, you can only control what you can control. Did I follow Ashton Hawkins' social media this week? I did not. But apparently he was referencing these sort of, these sort of vague comments that he was making throughout the week. Well, guess who didn't play? He finally played in the second half, but guess who was not involved at all? He had 1 catch for like -1 yard in the game, by the way. All right. So I don't know if this was punishment, discipline. We asked Dave Aranda about it after the game, and he said he had a bad week and he thinks he'll be back and he'll be bounced back and ready to contribute again this week. Oh my gosh. I mean, let's also pay tribute, Scotty, to that Travion Barnes. I mean, that number 36 for Baylor, who honestly in injury probably showed more fight than anybody on the team. There's Tim Brando and Devin Gardner. Now, again, I didn't get the TV feed because I'm in the press box. I had a lot of people out there on Twitter that did not care for. But when you're not playing well and you lose a game, everybody hates the TV people. So I don't know. Whoever was with Tim Brando, people did not seem pleased with the commentary. I did hear that. I saw that on Baylor Twitter. That's fine. And I get frustrated with, I'm in the media and I'm a broadcaster. I get as frustrated with them as possible. I mean, I hate, like, even driving down there for the game the other day. I'm like so sick of the analysts who talk over the play-by-play to the listener that screws us up. We can't tell what's happening because you have to be screaming over the play-by-play guy who we're counting on for the play. Stop doing it. It's so dumb. People think it's like cute or something. It's not. Be professional and let the play-by-play guy call the play. You can tell I'm on one today. I'm in one of those. Okay, Scotty, where was I? And by the way, thank you, Central National Bank, our presenting sponsor. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being so loyal to this. Thank you, Ascension Providence. Thank you, Cherry Johnson, Sigmund James. What an incredible, there they are. What an incredible law firm. We appreciate you guys so much. Schmaltz's has come over to us. The big time Schmaltz. We'll be doing our trivia contest this week. And, there it is. Well, that's looking good. 1975, right there on campus, over there where the Busy Beaver ended up being. Busy Beaver's not there anymore, over there where all that gorgeous new business school stuff is. Right around there was the old Busy Beaver would sell you or rent you a tuxedo, and that's where the first Schmaltz's ever was, about 1975. And now, of course, it's downtown and out on Valley Mills. Love having Schmaltz's. Good-looking logo. I like that. Although when you see that logo, Scotty, it almost has a look like you might walk in there and they might have like a mug of beer or something, doesn't it? That Schmaltz's kind of has there's a great, that's also looks kind of like a great logo for a pub. But in this case, it's an incredible sandwich shop. All right. Okay, we had the busted coverage. We had Sawyer. I had some good back and forth with Sawyer after the game. Okay, kudos to Baylor. Don't bring him out when he throws for 400. Don't just bring him up. Bring him out when he throws for an interception. They lose the game and the offense doesn't play that great. I thought it was interesting that our guy, Sam Bradshaw, who, I'm a big Sam fan, and he looks at these things and, he was kind of said something along the lines of, Sawyer played a great game. It did ruin those drives. They're moving. You got Cameron with the ball. This is what you want. You want Cameron in the open field, and then the fumbles. Okay, so that undermined things. And then Sawyer's own turnover. He has been too careless to the football 2 straight weeks, 3 picks over the last 2 games, And this one was he just didn't get the ball where he needed to. He could have come off that. And then let's talk about, Scotty, let's talk about the elephant in the room right now. And kudos to, David and everybody else who was trying to zero in on this after the game. Okay, the other teams bring in quarterbacks like Sam Levitt, who did not, he had his moments. He didn't just kill the Bears with his legs. He did run for 60-something yards. And, of course, they couldn't bring him down at times. And he had one amazing scramble that I remember. So they still have a problem with the quarterback. But let's not act like Sam Levitt had some just kind of unbelievable game. But what he does is when he's in trouble, or even when he's not, they can run quarterback power. Baylor, when they were at their best, let's think about it. When Grimes was at his best, it's when he had Bohannon able to run the ball. Even last year, Sawyer with his speed. I can remember games where he takes off racing down the middle of the field in big games, whether it be at home or on the road. Apparently, it never went at home, so it had to be on the road. Sawyer is refusing to, either being told not to run or refusing to run. Now, the play I remember, and Scotty, I think you'll remember this, is like it's a major play. It's a third down play, and they're moving the ball. And I think it might have been before Hawkins' 53-yard field goal, now that I think about it, but they're up around midfield. A little, it may be more like the 30, 35-yard line of Arizona State. And he's kind of rolls right. And everybody in the stadium saw it. He's got 15, 20 yards to run for. And he elects to fling the ball down on a low percentage throw up the sideline to a player who wasn't open. And they missed the throw. It wasn't even, his guy didn't even have a chance to make a play. And the Bears, I think, maybe have to kick a field goal. I can't remember if they punted or kicked. They don't love punting, obviously. So I think they had to kick a field goal at the time. Like, we asked Sawyer directly. David asked him, are you? He's already been asked, have you been told not to run? No, I probably should, is what he says. And then I think the question's been asked, are you okay? Are you okay physically? And he said, yeah, it's not a problem. So he's tried to shut that talk down a couple of times, but like, if he's fine and he's healthy, what's going on? Like, what if he's completely healthy, which again, he made all the throws he needed to make. He made huge plays down the stretch. He made the great throw to Trigg. They had fourth down plays that were big. Cole Wilson made a couple of big plays. Lewis Brown, hey, welcome to the fold, Lewis. Sweet Lou. That was a big play in that game. But how can you have a dude that probably runs I bet he runs a 4.6, at least a 4.7. He's a fast dude. He's an athlete. He's a big, tall quarterback, but he's an athlete. How do you have that guy and you don't use him at all in the run game? You see it in the NFL even last night. They're sneaking Jackson Dart. You think Jackson Dart's the runner or the athlete that Sawyer Robertson is? He's not. Can he move around? Is he better at this stage than Russell Wilson at doing that? Sure he is. But something has to give. Something has to give. Why? What's going on, Jake Spavital? So we're going to have to dig in this week and try to kind of find out what's going there. Where I was going earlier, and I forgot to complete it, I want to give this young man as much credit as I can. In part, this happened, Scotty, as like I'm racing over there after the pregame show. To even pick up some of my stuff, it's like, boy, they're quick before these games, Scotty. I'm over there trying to, hey, can I get this? Can I pick this up? They're gone. The Baylor people are like, if you're not there, if you're running a few minutes late, you might as well not show up. But anyway, fortunately, I had some backup. But the injury happens. It's a bad ankle injury. It looks like he's out for the year. They had to cart him off the field. And then, Scotty, what's he doing? And Fox had a great picture of it, had some great camera work. The young man is imploring his teammates and hollering at them to get the job done. leading even as he's being carted off. And as Aranda said, that, I think his quote was, that boy was becoming a leader. That boy was becoming a leader. It was really sad, also really cool to see somebody that cared that much for his teammates, somebody who's emerging as a player. You know, Scotty, from game to game, I'll kind of go, I'll look at 45, I'll look at 36. I'll look at, I'm just kind of thinking of these numbers that pop in my mind. And 36 is a guy that I've been interested in. And I'm talking about Barnes, because he's around the ball. He's obviously got speed. In a team that desperately needs playmakers, he has that ability. In this game, they were without Cooper Lands. We found out he was questionable. He didn't go for that game. He had some guys that were doubtful. I mean, there were just guys not able to go, and yet the defense actually tried to keep them in the game in the second half. It's the only thing that kept them in the game, is because the offense kept sputtering and making mistakes. And I will say, Sawyer sadly has played because of Baylor's losses and being 2-2 and the interceptions and everything else, he's kind of, right now he's not in the Heisman picture. That's not to say he couldn't get on some huge roll. They go to Stillwater. He has an enormous game. Who knows? But right now, this team has some just on both sides of the ball, some major deficiencies. And one of those is you got, when you're running the ball well, you kind of, and your defense has some limitations. They don't put a lot of pressure. They give up huge plays. They don't really tackle the quarterback a lot. You ground and pound is okay. Run it on down. Have a long drive here and there. And while you go, well, Matt, Bryson did run for, over 100 yards. Yeah, he did. And I'd like to see more of it. I'd like to see more of it. Scotty, if you looked right now at the play-by-play or the stats, I don't think he had over 20 carries, did he? I'd be shocked if he had more than 14 carries in that game. On fourth down, you handed it to him, and he took one to the house. That was a thing of beauty. I guess he did get tackled, didn't he, down there near the goal line. But again, big play right there. So, I think this team needs to. The offensive line was actually moving some people. Now, you still get the holds. You still get pushback sometimes. You get the mistakes, all that kind of stuff. But, man, I would be tempted when you see if this guy's one of your best players, which we all believe that he is, Bryson Washington, let's lean on him. Lean on him more, especially without Ashton Hawkins, who was disciplined, or still don't know exactly what happened. What a way to start your game without your two best players or receivers are Ashton Hawkins and Cameron, and Josh Cameron, and they don't have Hawkins. Everybody goes, where's Hawkins? What's he doing? I guess he must have done something. He's down there standing on the sideline. Kudos to Dave for trying to teach his guys lessons and everything, but how often do we have to see this? Wait, watch Trigg not playing today. Going back to last season in some of those games, even get to the bowl game, guys are sitting out. Well, what happened? What did they do? Well, no, it was discipline. Okay. All right. I'll have to say this, though, and I tweeted about this the other night, and we'll do some Campus Confidential here in a minute because we've come out rolling on all this Baylor stuff. Michael Trigg, Scotty, is the best. I've only been watching Baylor since I was a kid. So we got to go way back 40 some years. By the time I was 6 or 7 years old, I was remembering every game, every score. I was in on it. All right. So I can remember. And now Grant didn't technically, whether it be Joel Barrett or Steve Stutzman, wasn't like he was a guy who threw to the tight end. I think you brought up Ben Sims recently, and Scotty, he was good, and Baylor did throw to him, and he was an excellent weapon. And I guess that was Sims was a weapon he was hurt in 19, but by 20 21, he'd really become a weapon for the team. And then obviously he's in the NFL now. They've never had anybody close to Trigg. All right. And now I didn't even know Sims was that fast until I went and watched him in the combine. The Baylor, had their pro day, and I swear he ran like a 4.55 or something. I'm like, wait, I didn't know Ben Sims was that fast. Trigg is fast. He's got great hands. He's unbelievable. He's a matchup nightmare. They've never had anybody like him, but it just feels like you're wasting him. Feels like you're wasting think about that. You got one of the best backs you've had. I know Abram put up great numbers, and over the years, with Shock and Ganaway and all those guys. They're, great players, incredible players. Even Johnny Jefferson during his brief run. They had extremely talented running backs. This feels like a waste this season. Getting ready is Bryson. Maybe he'll come back another season, but these guys that are thinking about, he had Sawyer. Maybe they're going to have a bad enough season. Sawyer comes back and thinks about giving him another season. Maybe he's playing himself out of the NFL. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking for a silver lining. I don't think that feels like a silver lining, but these guys, they're not featuring Bryson enough. They're not. That was a really uneven offensive performance. Dave doesn't love to take points unless he has to. He felt like he kind of had to kick that 53-yard field goal to go ahead and tie it up, and the guy rewarded him. The guy made it. But you've got a short field goal, you got a 4th and 2, and you pass it up. And you get beat 27-24 at the gun. And you go, oh, man, that could have played out various ways. Well, it played out like that. So I think it's fair. Now, am I sitting up there at the time? I don't want to fake it. Please kick that field goal to go up 6-3 or whatever it would have been. Please kick that field. No, I was not sitting up there saying that. But it does come back to haunt you at times. That similar result that they just had the other night. That's why I think Baylor fans, as they're walking out, have to have, and a bunch of them did leave. We got to get onto the fans a little bit on that deal. I get it. You were fed up. They were turning the ball over. The offense was sputtering and turning the ball over, and the quarterback just threw an interception, okay? And the game was going long, and so that happens at late in third quarter whenever he threw that. Don't think it was at early fourth. I think it was late in third quarter. He throws that pick. So some point early in the fourth, I'm walking back up to the press box, and their fans streaming out of there. And then lo and behold, the Bears tie that game up. The fans that were there were way into it. The Baylor line always stays, but the crowd leaves. And I can't help but wonder if one of the reasons they do, Scotty, is because it's like we've seen how this movie ends. Scotty, that graphic you put up there, I don't even have to ask for it. Scotty's so good. He can feel it coming. I can look and go all those late game losses why people would have an attitude of here we go again. Lose at the end to Utah. Lose at the end to West Virginia. Lose at the end the other night to Arizona State. Lose on a field goal at the gun to TCU. Lose on the gun against U of H, who goes for 2 down at the end. Lose one of those games to BYU. That one didn't come down to the gun. Auburn just happened. Some of those teams like Texas the last time out stung you. Tech, when they were in Waco, stung you pretty badly. All right. But a lot of these games bring back memories of just how these things ended. All right. Like, I know how this movie ends. So why is it not a good environment? Is it the fans' fault? Scotty, we can deal with a little bit if you want to in Campus Confidential. We need to get to it, but this is going to be a theme this week, okay? You lose way too many games at home. It causes the environment not to be as good because people don't come out. I thought the environment was fine the other night, but this keeps happening. You get fans fired up. The administration gives them what they want. Here's your chrome helmets. Here's your anthracite. Here's your dark uniforms. Here's what you people act like you want. And then the fan base is like, thank you. All right. But then you don't win. Then you got 3 turnovers. And again, you go, well, we could have won that one. And you could have beaten Auburn. I'm sure that Baylor fans out there today really could be, gosh, you could be 4-0. You could be 4-0. And I could be, the king of England right now. And this is the same people reaching out to me about the Cowboys. Matt, you say they could be 0-3, but they could be 2-1. Okay, you watch them get blistered by Russell Wilson and Chicago and Caleb Williams for 750 yards, and you want to tell me, well, it could be this, could be Matt, they could be 2-1. I'm not buying it. All right, let's do some Campus Confidential, and then we'll, in the 2:00 hour, we will delve into these Cowboys. Campus Confidential coming up next.